Today I've been challenged to chuck all my whiskey bottles in the trash as I'm only allowed to have just one whiskey.
For all eternity.
So the whiskey nerd, who has an absolutely amazing channel, has challenged me to the One Whisky Bottle Challenge. This is where you pick one bottle for the rest of your days, and most people put a lot of thought into their pick, but I'm going to just go with my gut and then probably regret it later.
That's my credo, no regrets.
I gave myself 2 minutes to think through all the whiskies I've got, to kind of put a rough list together, and I've picked which one I've got, so I'm going to do the honourable mentions as well. I really feel like I'm speeding through this. Welcome back to Geoff Whisky. I'm Geoff, picking one whiskey. Let's crack on. Geoff Whisky. I will say apologies for how roughly edited this may be. Life has been super busy and I'm only sitting down to film this the day before it goes out.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the excuses. Don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear it.
But I've scribbled down a few bottles that have come to mind, but there definitely was one that stuck out in my head. But now before I get to it, let's fly through some of the runners up. And all of these could probably be winners if I thought about it more, or if I was feeling different on the day.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
But nevertheless, let's get to the first runner-up. Lefroy 10 Sherry Oak.
That was smooth. That was very smooth.
Yes, I know, I'm talking about this whiskey again. I've done a full review of my Whiskey of the Year bottle, so I'm going to keep this brief. But I just love this bottle. The sweet peat, the rich flavour, the jammy, the smoky, the slightly medicinal, the slightly salty. It's actually one bottle that I've already bought a replacement for, so when this bites the dust, the next one will come out straight away.
No harm in being prepared.
I've shared this bottle with lots of people and everyone seems to enjoy it, and it's one that works in multiple situations. But the main reason why it's not my one pick is that sometimes I'm just not in the mood for a heavily peated dram.
Tell me, friend, when did
Geoff Whisky
abandon reason for madness?
But that does lead me on to my next runner-up. Kilkerran 12. Now, this is a lovely lightly peated dram and possibly my favourite 12-year-old whiskey, and it is always a great one to just sit down with and sip away as the night goes on. And the added advantage of this is based on the different samples I've had, and this is maybe my second bottle, maybe my third. But of all the ones I've tried, there seems to be some slight variation, which certainly keeps things interesting. I'm now thinking maybe I should have picked this one.
No, I'm afraid it's too late for that.
I think due to that meaty aspect of it, it's not one that I grab so much in the summer, and this bottle is actually yet to be opened. But don't worry, Tap Saf crew, it will be open soon. And also the fact, it's pretty pricey, so it certainly wouldn't be a bank balance friendly whiskey to have for the rest of my days. For my next pick, I am sticking on the lightly peated train and going with Ardnamurchan AD. Now for me, this bottle is the Cocktail King, and this has the added benefit of being really tasty neat.
He's winding you up.
Now with Ardnamurchan, my brain ain't the best at knowing what's what, and I recently had a blast with First Fill Whiskey where we chatted whiskey design and we talked about some issues with naming conventions. Check that out because we do have a little ramble about this. With a new boss, you want a better Mac. It's not you want one. You want one.
Yeah.
Get this down your boy.
This is getting wild. We're going off the rails.
But this is a beauty of a whiskey. There's that bit of spirit punch in there, but it really has some unique flavour and it's just really amazing. I'm not sure if there's a lot of variation on this. The cast strength was almost the pick, but I feel like this is the perfect ABV, but truly is fantastic stuff. Now to go in a very different direction, and the whiskey nerd had a great shout with his pick.
Spoiler alert!
Redbreast 12 cast strength. Now I know that I've said that I prefer the standard 40% ABV Redbreast 12 over this, but the extra ABV will give more chance to play with it. You can try it at different strengths, you can add water, you can add ice, you can put it in a cocktail. It makes it more of an enjoyable experience if this is all you can drink. Overall, it's a really good whiskey, but again, this certainly ain't a cheap choice, and it is beyond me to buy a second bottle, so I'm not sure that I can pick this one.
You're poor and stupid.
So let's stay in the Irish selection and go to the very cheap end of the spectrum. Jameson Caskmate Stout Edition. Now I know I've only just put a review out of this, and this certainly is the whiskey that I've purchased the most bottles. I think I worked out it was 5 or something. Every time it's pretty amazing, it's super affordable, it punches well above that price, and it's one that is perfect to share around with others.
Sharing is caring, I thought you might say that.
It's light enough for a hot summer dram and chocolatey enough for a cold winter warmer, and this could have easily been my one pick for the One Whisky Challenge. but I did fear that it's more of a simple sip, and if that was all I could drink, I could see myself getting bored with it over time.
You're not like getting bored with things, are you?
So I'm sure that's enough rambling. Leads me all to the One Whisky to drink for all eternity.
Drum roll, please.
Cotswolds Signature Single Malt Whiskey. This is one whiskey that every time there's something new to find in that delicious soft malty pillows of this whiskey.
Sounds so good it hurts.
I love an SDR cask whiskey, really love the King's Barn Dream to Dram, but this is possibly the best SDR cask whiskey I've had. And there's just some amazing sweet honey, juicy raspberries, like a bit of banana, a bit of mint. It really sings at the ABV. The 46% ABV adds like a real hearty depth to cocktails, and it just balances all the flavours so well. I won't wax on too long as I've got a full review of this bottle, which I've done a few years back, so I don't know how well it's aged, but I cannot not mention the amazing price.
Okay, so what's the price?
Right now you can grab it at £30 in a couple of supermarkets and even get it delivered in the UK through the Cotswolds Distillery website itself for £35 and 10p.
Damn good deal.
You do have to sign up to their mailing list to get like 10% off, but yeah, well worth it. I'm sure the price soon will have to be pushed up, but this truly is amazing value. Of course you can't forget, it truly is. Very slappable. Now I got to pass the challenge along, keep this momentum moving, so I'm going to ask the other Geoff, the better Geoff, G-Whisky, to see what his pick will be, and to the two whiskey geeks, not snobs, Rachel and Jen at the Grail, to see what their one whiskey pick will be. So if you've enjoyed this whiskey ramble, slap a like. If you've hated it, a dislike. You can support my whiskey tuber attempt by subscribing to the channel. But all that's left to say is, all the best, cheers to the next one.